Well, how did that street life work for you?
It did not. That's why I'm single.
When did all this happen?
About 9 years ago.
How long was you married for?
19 years.
So you divorced your husband of 19 years all because you wanted to have sex with another man?
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of men about being married. They can love the woman, desire to be with her. They always say, well, Mr. Wilson, I need to get a little more money. Mr. Wilson, I need to get this house. You know what? Maybe when I get this business going, I'll go ahead and lock that in. I said, me and my wife, we got it together. I didn't have money, a lot of money. My wife was a nurse. We put that together. That's why the scriptures say it's not good for man to be alone. The woman in Hebrew, the word helper is Azah, which also means a shield, succor, support.
Now, for you to be submitted under someone, it means that that individual is your master. So your husband is your master, he's your Lord. Hence, in the book of Genesis, the Lord told Eve that your husband will rule over you.
Time I tell myself, man, you young, man, it's okay to not have a wife right now. You don't need to settle down. You just slow down, just live your life. These old heads prove me right every single time. Give me the wife. Give me the wife. Slim Thug, Shaquille O'Neal, Shannon Sharp. They just some old losers. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was reading a book or listening to a podcast, I can't remember, but it was just talking about some things that you don't want to be as a man. One of the things you don't want to do is just chase women your whole life, being a womanizer. That should never, ever add up to being anything that's taking you away from your family and family time, is taking away from the natural joy of your life, the natural wealth in life and living, making life worth living, chasing money your whole life. That makes life not worth living. Who are you getting all this money to spend it with if it's not family?
A few moments later.
You ever been married?
Yes.
When did you get divorced?
Because I want it to be fast.
Are
You asked me questions. You want me to stop. You don't want me to tell you no lie, right?
So you divorced your husband because you wanted to be out here in these streets?
I did. Yep.
Well, how did that street life work for you?
It did not. That's why I'm single.
So did you have an affair with your husband?
I did not. I wanted to.
So you got a divorce because you wanted to have sex with other men?
One particular man.
Okay, so when you got the divorce, did you and that man have sex?
I did.
And what happened after that?
It was horrible.
Did you try to get your ex-husband back?
No. I felt a little ratchet afterwards.
When did all this happen?
About 9 years ago.
How long was you married for?
19 years.
So you divorced your husband of 19 years all because you wanted to have sex with another man?
Yeah.
Do you regret doing that?
Yeah.
When you think about the amount of time that a man puts into a marriage, effort, energy, finances, provision, protection, it's a travesty that a woman would throw all of that away just so she can get laid, man. But then you ask yourself as a man, is it better for her to throw it away and go get laid, or for her to stay in it and just be intimate with this other man? Man, marriage is just something that any logical, reasonable, and prudent man should not believe in America, in the West, but most certainly in America.
Why does your husband obsess over the idea that you should listen and obey him? Why does he always say, you don't listen to me? Why does it seem as if, like, even if you are doing every other thing correct, this one point of not listening to him tends to maybe overshadow and override the good that you have done? It's very simple. Men always reveal a certain dimension of God. Now, I want you to understand that your husband is not just your husband. He's not just your lover. He's not just the father of your children. He's not just a king. He is also a Lord. Now, for you to be submitted under someone, it means that that individual is your master. So your husband is your master. He's your Lord. Hence, in the book of Genesis, the Lord told Eve that your husband will rule over you. So when a person is your ruler, one of the things to prove that you're a good servant is that you listen and you obey. The Lord is very straightforward on this issue of obedience. He says, I do not desire sacrifice. He says, obedience is better than sacrifice. So no matter what you do for your husband, whether you cook, whether you look good, whether you do anything to please him, as long as you don't obey him, you are offending your husband, because he's also a Lord. So the dimension of lordship inside of him requires obedience, and it requires you listening to him, following instructions that he gives you. Now, as a woman, it's your responsibility to submit under a man who hears the voice of the Lord, that he may not give you instructions that are contrary to that which we are told in scripture. So your husband will forever require you to listen and obey to him, because he is a Lord. Okay, and whatever that is a Lord, it means whatever that is subject to it must listen and must obey to what the master commands it to do.
And these guys who talk about it all the time, like Jason Wilson.
To a lot of men about being married. They can love the woman, desire to be with her. They always say, well, Mr. Wilson, I need to get a little more money. Mr. Wilson, I need to get this house. You know what? Maybe when I get this business going, I'll go ahead and lock that in. Mm-hmm. I said, me and my wife, we got it together. I didn't have money, a lot of money. My wife was a nurse. We put that together. That's why the scriptures say it's not good for man to be alone. The woman in Hebrew, the word helper is Azah, which also means a shield, succor, support. So many of us, when you look at what's happening in our community, we're missing that, especially when studies come out to show that over 80% of millionaires are married. What are we missing? Majority of us is fear. And then the inadequacy piece, the imposter syndrome. Now, when I get married, I can't be a stoic. Oh, she's going to find out that I'm depressed sometime. She's going to find out that, man, I still struggle with confidence. I'm really not the leader she thinks I am, for her to be around me all day long. That's why I say, man, it's not the lack of discipline. It's not even self-control. Those are fruits of the seeds that have been planted. So if you don't have the right seeds and the right soil, your manifestation of the bad fruit is what we're seeing now in so many men.
Man, these guys been married for a long time. Like, when you've been married for a long time, you don't know how women have changed. You don't know how dating has changed. If you've been married for 20 years, you speak in front of the perspective of a man who hadn't been in the game in 20 years. Man, you know how different the game is in 20 years? It's not even the same. You wouldn't even know what to do if you came out here. The number one complaint that divorced men have, men who have been married for 15, 20 years in those long marriages, the number one complaint they have is they have no idea what to do in this new world of dating. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with these women. They've never seen women so bold. They've never seen women so cold. They've never seen women so young who act so old, and women so old who act so young. They don't know anything about this. And so when you hear an older guy like this talk, it makes sense 20 years ago, but it doesn't make sense now.
I agree with you saying, "Ooh, I look fine today. Let me post it for the world to see." Because what are you posting it for? To get that attention. It's as simple as that. There's no other reason to post. Now, I'm going to ask y'all this. If a dude tell y'all, you can post the same stuff you've been posting. Post whatever you want. But make your page private and delete all mails off your page that's not family member. How would you feel about a dude saying that?
That's controlling.
So you would think he tripping?
Yes, that's controlling.
Trinity, you would think he tripping?
I would. I'm not gonna.
So
Narcissistic.
Okay. They just said they posting for themselves. They doing it just because it look good. They just said it's not no unloyal aspect to this. But when we take males out of the equation, you the bad guy. But before you take them out of the equation, they just posting for themselves. It can't be for y'all sales, and it can't be just because you feel good, because I'm still saying, babe, post it. Baby, do your thing. Post whatever you want to post, however many times you want to post it. Let's just take the men that might pose a threat to our relationship or trying to get in between what we got going. Let's take them out the picture. Now I'm tripping. So don't they click in y'all head that, maybe I'm not just doing it just for me, or maybe I'm not just doing it just because I feel good. Can we agree to that now?
I still can't.
We can't agree to that. Message.
And I just want y'all to understand that a woman will throw away 20 years of not her life, of your life. See, she didn't throw her life away. She did what she thought was going to be more fun for her. And look how much fun look like she having right now with a bug-eyed ass. Look how much fun like she having. Just sharing this story. Slurping on a milkshake there. She wasted that man's life. 20 years of investment. And he brought talking about, you should just invest in me. It's an investment. If a man can't invest in what? What's the return on it? If this man got this return on investment after 19 years, bro, what's the return on investment I'm going to get from you after 19 days?
A lot of times men date us and they're actually disappointed. When you're wondering like, oh, well, why did he pursue me? Why did he want to be with me? And then now all of a sudden he pull it back and he want me to chase him. He got to fucking know you and he's disappointed. Let me tell you this. And this is my shit, so I can say, I done disappointed a couple niggas. I know that there are men out here that was just like admire me from afar and it was like, surprise, I'm a hoe. Like, surprise, look, I fucked you in a week. Like, I know that I disappointed you. Like, I think that men, they see you from afar and they're like, wow, she's out here doing her thing. She's a boss, whatever. And then they get you on, they see you off that Casamigos. You drunk as a fucking fish. Your diet don't consist of nothing. You listen to trap music every time you wake up. You have no morning routine. You have no core values. And they date you and they're like, damn, like, I thought it was something else.
None worth risking. And I want you men to understand, man, that you cannot be out here living this life as if you can trust these women, if you can put these women in a position that you would have put a woman 20, 25 years ago. You can't. They're not built like that. They don't want that. They don't respect that. They don't desire that until they ass hit the wall.
So I don't know what this is supposed to mean, but if this was an attempt to try to make older women who are single not feel bad, I don't know if this is helpful. Because why don't we just start telling the truth to ladies? Why don't we just start telling the truth to younger girls and let them know, look, if you decide to, push marriage off or push off relationships, if you decide to not focus on, getting married or whatever and wait until your 40s and 50s to settle down, you're going to experience these hardships.
And by that point, who wants a wallbanger wife? Who wants a wallbanger wife with another man's kids coming with her? Who does?
Yeah, that's your baby daddy, bitch. That's my baby daddy too, girl. Well, what now? I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out.
I don't love her, and I don't need her.
And these women are always talking about how they get money and they get this and so many men want them. Well, how come you ain't got no man and the first thing come out your mouth is what somebody can do for you financially?
Stop approaching women you know you cannot afford. You already see the woman's lifestyle. You see how she living.
So if she's already living that lifestyle all on her own, what exactly is the issue?
You know you can't afford it. Now when she asks you for money to upkeep the lifestyle that she's already living.
Wait. What exactly are these women in these scenarios doing? Why would they be asking men for money in the first place? I thought these women were strong and independent and could do things all on their own. And obviously they've been maintaining their lifestyles beforehand. But yet they would ask men for money while they're dating. That's why they're giving the impression that some women aren't as strong and independent as they want everyone else to think that they are. It's either that or they just view men as walking ATMs. So which one is it?
You want to get an attitude. Go be with your type. She's not your type.
Right. They should be with their type, shouldn't they? The type of women that actually want a relationship and don't view men as just a means to an end.
Because not only are you broke, you're broken. And if you think a man like me finna jump into that life with you, baby, you must be smoking. And I ain't talking about cigarettes either. Y'all, man, be careful out here, brothers. And don't get yourself caught up, man, with the scallywags out here. The Jezebel spirit is strong. And if you're not aware of what it looks like, it will lead you on and never leave you alone until the thrill that it feels it needs is gone. And regardless of the fallout that's left in your life, she will have no problem moving herself from the position as your wife if you put the wrong woman there. All right, I'm done with this one. Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this Prism of the Ism. And as always, Alphas up, Betas down. Peace.